Hey. Good evening, everyone. Still getting the hang of this live stream thing. Uh, anyhow, 4848, 48 scale, BF 1093. I gotta fix that in place. Got a little bit more done. I got the kind of canopy on and all that. I've got the big base done. I'll put a video up on that, but it looks kind of blank. So I said, you know what? Let's put this over here in a way. And you may hear a new dog in the background. That would be Birdie. Birdie's hanging out over here looking for some pets. Anyhow, I said, you know what? I got to find some dudes. And I really like the look of this. I probably, the Kitterad, that may get set aside for a different build. But I got a little generator, what do they call it? Power supply unit. So it's modeled with a Focke-Wulf 190, but it can work for any of them. And you know these power. Anyhow, uh, I want to say I had to order it from online hobby store because we don't have any really good online, in-person brick and mortar hobby stores nearby where I live. So I just got it this afternoon, and that's when I said, you know, I gotta jump on and maybe do a quick live build. It's interesting that it comes with, you know, not the decals, but this little. It's I want to say a wire, but it's like the fuel. It's a power tube. It actually is a wire. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. It's so small. So I got to get some really small strippers and strip that up. That gets super glued in place. But like I said, I took the liberty to pull everything out of the box, take a look at it, did a quick review of the instructions. It's not, it doesn't look super, there's lots of little parts. So we'll try and build, and we'll just prime it black because I'm still researching what color it should be in Swiss service. It could be anything from green to German gray. Who knows? Anyhow, we have two dudes to build. Probably will do the barrels and the pumps. There's toolbox. And I think all the parts for that are on that sprue, except for the driver. And what they have you do is I think you end up using this dude here, his legs, his arms, his body, but not his head. The head is tucked away here. I'm not sure why the difference. At this scale, not too different, but and it's a winter scene, so they got overalls. So their hands will not be painted flesh color. They all will be wearing gloves. Even I think one dude has gloves and one doesn't for the fueling. But the Kitterad, like I said, I may end up building it this time, and if I do, it'll probably sit in black for a while. Although most of them, unless you're doing super early war, are the Dunkelglebe, the dark yellow color. And I'll have an extra rider, whether you've got this guy here, very more German looking with the cap, the peaked cap, field cap on the body, but he's looking straight ahead. So I don't know, you could maybe clip and put the other head in there, but we'll see. So go set this aside. I might need some of these bits, but we'll see when we get there. So I'm going to take about an hour today and see how far I can get. I apologize for the wiggliness. I've got to get this out of the way. So anyhow, I will endeavor to chat while we build. It's an interesting little cart. Apparently the Germans had decided that they wanted to save the batteries in their aircraft. So they built these little two-stroke engine generators and batteries. So you could run the generator and the battery and charge, you know, get everything going in the airplane without running down the battery. So you didn't deep cycle the battery too often. So, all righty, let's see here. First up, we got to build a little frame. So, tell you what I'm going to do. just to make this easier, these are gonna set aside. The dudes, it's technically another frame right here. So we're gonna take this frame. Here comes the fun part. I gotta keep all this together. Everything but the fire extinguisher. But I know that goes with the generator. So we'll set that aside. That's pretty easy to identify that. So this should be T. And what we're looking for to begin with is 22, this big puppy right here. And this was welded pipe in real life. So fairly simple design. And here's 21. And oddly, there's 21 on the other side as well. That's kind of interesting. Once we need 21, 21, 22, and 36, which is right here. They have an odd way of numbering stuff. It's kind of like all over the place. But I really have always liked Tamiya kits. I like their armor kits. They're not hyper detailed for the most part, but their fit, form, and function is just fantastic. Like, you never have to struggle and fight. Now this, the clippers may be more like brute force on this. Let's see how we do. Did we crack it? No. No. So as long as I've got a model to build and I'm not, well, even if I have to work on a Saturday night, it's a close. It puts me home at 8:30 or so. I'm not too exhausted and wiped out. I could do a little bit of these 1 hour. What am I doing? Sometimes I'll be painting. Sometimes I'll be starting a kit like this one. That's going to take some cleanup. But let's just get these all. Since 21 and 21 are the same, let's make sure we don't need those. No, they're flat. I have a feeling that this, because it's so small and fairly simple, I might be able to get this in the primer in an hour, as long as I don't have to do too much sanding. Let's see this guy here. Ooh, I'm glad they made that one part. I don't know if you can, these are some really, really, really small details. Or I shouldn't say small, thin pieces of molded plastic. They've done an awesome job. So I am going to build this not in tow mode, deployed, and I'm going to have 2 soldiers charging. So I'm going to have it so that such that the generator cover will be open. So they'll be running the generator and charging the 109, its batteries. That I don't know if that's technically correct. The instructions just give you options for how to set it up if you're running just the battery, if you're running just the generator, or if you're not running anything at all. And there's a tow mode and a not tow mode. I forget what the language they use, but basically in use mode. So there are a couple design choices, but it does come with a little engine build up. So that would be kind of fun, I think, to paint the engine and show it off instead of paint it and then put a cover over it. And 95% of it is hidden by this little plastic cover. And yeah, I know it's one of those modeling things where it's like, you know, at least I know that all the bits are there and painted. Yes, and my hands look horrible. I was doing a little rattle can spraying, and I did not warm up the can, and it came out quite chunky and fuzzy actually, which it's I downloaded a pipeline set for 3D resin printing for it's for like dystopian type worlds. I'm using it for Gasland, so being a little bit fuzzy. You know what? That could work. We'll see how it paints up. I may it may it may work as like mold growing on the pipe or something. There you go. We got our first victim. I don't know if you can see that right there. Cracked it. So a little extra thin to the rescue. Yeah, this is a suspension part underneath, or a frame part, I should say. So I think if it's out of kilter, it's not going to be too bad. Let's see. How bad is this? And anyone who joined a little late, just a reminder that the new rescue hound is down here in the basement with me. So if you hear some weird noises, like someone licking their paws, that would be Birdie, who is a 18-month-old English pointer and German wire hair pointer mix. So she's got that really cool chocolate and cream and chocolate brindled wire coat everywhere except for the middle of her head and her ears. They are soft like an English. So she's a really cool, I was going to say a cool cat, cool dog. The cat has yet to make her decision. It's going to take a little bit, but you know how cats are. Cats, they run the house, it's their house, and she's just not super happy. All right, so they want us to start. It's one of my issues with Tamiya, though. It's like you've got, I'm assuming, because you can't see these holes. Yeah, because they tell you to flip it over. And if you see that in the instructions, you get this little flippy thing. So they're going to build it this way, then they want you to, well, if you follow the arrow, you would twist it and turn it. And that always throws me off because really all what they want you to do is just flip it over. So I don't know why they don't make their arrow go that way instead of going that way. But anyhow. All right. And I may be talking to myself, but that's okay. Let's see. Do they give us an assembly order? They do not, but I'm going to assume these guys are pretty uniform in shape and size. Oh, where are my pliers? That's an interesting sound, which you guys probably can't hear off camera. I'm assuming it's my neighbor taking his trash cans up. All right, I just had my tweezers. Probably put them down on the tray. Because aside from spraying the Gasland stuff, I've got some guardrails I'm building for a model railroad project. And if you think 148 and 1/72 is tiny, try N scale. It's too much glue. Set that wick right in place. And this should be the one that we fixed. Man, like a glove. Like a glove. If I was trying to do this taped for building, that would be like 10 tries to get that to work just right. Now, this part's got long leaf and short leaf. And this needs bit better seeing it. Again, it's probably a part that when it's all painted up and underneath, behind the wheels, you'll never see it. But why leave the sprue gate marks and the mold lines? And I get some injector pin marks there on the bottom too. Those may have to get filled. There we go. So, what we want, there's 2 little holes right there in the frame. Oh, it's not really holes, like you can see that. And it looks like the other cutout, where'd the other cutout? Right here. So they're going to sit right in there. And the rear ones have pins, and the front ones have a little slot to fit in place. All right, so I don't know if we got new viewers or old viewers coming back, but we are building a little Luftwaffe generator in 1/48. It is a Tamiya kit. Let's see, what kit number is it? Military Miniature Series number 33. That's all it says on the box. Let me get rid of that little. And I'll do the switcheroo. All right, now we're back to the sprue. I'm gonna look for part number T10. There's T10 right here. T15. 15's this one. Looks like we got some very identical looking parts, but have a left-right orientation. That is too tight on the sprue gate. So this is 15. I've built a German ammo cart in 135th for a previous build, and this is starting to feel a lot like it. So flipped over 15. Oh, this is very, okay, I see. The orientation is going to be this way. So all that detail is going to be on the outside. Let's start with this guy here. Yeah, my vacuum cleaner loves me. Just flinging parts everywhere. Another seam line right there. Cool beans, man, cool beans. So while we've got this bad boy, and I guessed about the orientation. You would think maybe those 2 big bits right there might lead the way. So in addition, I'll let the extra thin do its job, which is to wick. I'll squeeze. There we go. So there's some parts that need to get orientated off of this. So I'm wondering. That one clips in there. Oh, these guys are going to connect underneath. I don't think it actually goes, I think it goes side to side. So I think, like the other one, this one's a little tight on the sprue gates. That's 26. I do apologize. My glasses keep hitting the camera mount. One of those issues of getting older. I need the readers, which are great for me to see what I'm doing, but doesn't always give me good peripheral vision. Well, I think I got a little advantageous there, thinking I could get this all done. Well, let's see how much is left. T20 and T19. T20 and T15. Oh, there's 20. That's a bitty little part. That's 20. 19. 15, 20. Think 19 would be right near 20. 30s. 30, 31, 35. Yeah. It's looking the wrong way. It's staring at me right in my face. That's going in the back. This one needs a little cleanup because I believe orientation-wise, yeah, this is the up part of the part. The other one goes down inside a slot. Another one of those. You should have connected it on this side, not this top side. We're gonna see. Now, I'm not intentionally trying to go fast on this, guys. It's just, if I can get this in the primer and paint it, it should be a pretty simple paint. Even the figures 1/48. More detail than 1/72, but not by much. See, like this one, here's your finished top side. Your bottom side's got some mold. No, they're actually supposed to be in it, and they're saying those need to go to the inside. And it's gonna go in that top slot right there. So let's get that right there. This is number 15. Oh yeah, that's like almost snap together quality. I love it. Like I said, I've built a lot of Tamiya armor kits. You know what? I'm pulling it because I see something I forgot to clean up. They just are like this. They just kind of snap together. So let's get our orientation back. And totally got my orientation. I've totally lost it. So if this is sitting at, oh, it goes on this side, it goes this way. Well, yeah, that would make sense. Boom. Snap. There's some of the fuzz. guess I saw him on this one. I took care of them all. Sweet. Now that we know, that one's going to go back that way. Ugh. Crisp, clean, snap. I love it. Now I just keep my monkey paws, big paws, bear paws out of the way so I don't leave a fingernail print, because there's nothing worse than a glue fingernail print. Cool. Only thing left is this bad boy. Like I said, its orientation is with that up. It has two little bits that ride. Check. Yep. And it just sits there like this. Just a tiny bit of glue. Boom. Boom, boom. At the corners. Done. That, my friends, step one, complete. A little detail, small. Half an hour, gets one step done. How about that, Apples? Now, step two, I don't know if you can see it. A lot about the wheels. I tend to like to paint wheels separately. It's just so much easier. So, and here's our first option, right? Do we do standing position, they call it, or do we do it in a towing position? And I'm going to do the standing position. So they're saying there's a difference between the parts, huh? Yep, 34. I'm trying to see. Oh, so here's the difference. We want 34, which is this guy here. And so you can see the difference is this orientation of this block. So it's rotated down, right? So this piece essentially snaps down, and then it's snapped down for standing, or it's up for towing. It's kind of counterintuitive. So you got to be careful. I'm going to take 34 here. Like in the sprue, you would think that it being folded up next to it, but it's kind of pulled out and folded down. I see exactly what they're doing now. Like I said, I'm not going to do the Kitarad tonight or with this diorama. But if I don't have anything else to build, and now they want it flipped back over. Yep, there's the slot right there. So we want the hoop section to go out towards. There, we didn't have to clean up that little bit. So all I'm going to do is put a little dab of glue on the end. And then just, that's the orientation right there. And yeah, I see that little pit sticking out. We'll come get that after it's all done, before we prime it. And T18, which looks like it's an additional tow hook. Yeah, pretty small. So we'll clip that off. Man, it's a fresh blade, and I've already bent the tip. I shouldn't really complain. I've had these bad boys for a very long time. Off camera here, just to make sure I get it right. So it's got that little. I'm trying to figure out is, yeah, that's the bit of the sprue gate that needs to go. So this has got these. That still feels like I have too much of the sprue gate left. it's really hard to tell. So I'm pretty sure you can't see it at all on camera. So how's that hook is up and over. This is gonna be a toughie one, boys and girls. So if that's gonna go, this is really small, you're not gonna be able to see it. That piece needs to go that way. Wow. This is a bitty part, let me tell you. So they want it upside down. And then we want the long. And this is really odd. If you put this in like that, I think that's the way it needs to go. It's this little bit right in here. Goes into that little gap. Goes into that little gap. Oh. Once I get it set, I'll give you a close-up. So that's what we're looking at. Dang, that is small. I'll let that dry. And the only other bits on here, we have generator cover. And they also have this little bit that gets glued on the end of that wire. That's going to be a later step for me, just because I got to go find wire strippers. 35 and T60. So 35. I said, "What is this? What's this? An aircraft seat?" See, it kind of looks like a seat, but no, it's a generator cover. Generator cover, and 16. Here's 16. This little piece right here. That clipped off nice. I'm telling you, man, this is Tamiya's Engineering, where they place their sprue gates. The type of plastic they use, it's so much nicer than the Airbus stuff that is like, it's so soft. It's just very soft plastic, and it really, you can make some nice craft with it. I haven't done any of their 148th. I've done their 172nd stuff, and they're super simplistic. Sometime in the next week or so, probably gonna do another 109 in Tropic colors. I love the Tropic colors. So that one's just gonna go in there like that. Is there an orientation? Not really. The holes are symmetrical. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this like that and try not to flood it. Boom, boom. And there we go. See what I mean? Look, there's the ends of those. Super fine. Must have done something to them. They're coming together. I'm an abuser of tools, my friends. There's our generator cover. We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to those wheels. So that's step 2 done. And we just have step 3, which is funny because look at all the stuff that's got to go on in step 3. Why not make that step 3 and 4? Because in step 4 we start building the chassis for the Kitterad. Let's fold that up like this. So there's that cover we just built. Here's all the engine parts to build. And see, when you're using the battery, they have the cover down. And that covers most of it. When it's generators not in, this goes on here, but you have to coil up this. But I'm gonna have the guy using it, so I think I'm gonna use the generator. That could be interesting because then if the cover is, could have the cover back with the engine still going. Just, yeah, that's what you do. And then this is just stored separately. So let's, there's no real need to put the fire extinguisher on just yet either, because it's got separate call outs. So we'll do that all, we'll paint that up separately. Same thing with the handle, we can put that on there. So let's get 24, 27, and 17. Here's 27. Oh. That's 24. Sorry, dudes. 27. This 25 fell off. What did I call out? 17. Oh my gosh, 17. 17. So small. All right, we didn't lose it. Thought I had a moment there. Just like I had a moment with this guy, he bounced away. Gray on gray. I should have got a different color cutting mat. I like they put the touch point right down there. And that goes down, you don't see it. All right, so this looks like there's a keyway. It's a keyway and a keyway. So what I'm gonna do is put a little, dab it thin, it'll go all the way around that little keyway. Keep the fingers out of the way. Just like that. Then we have that little buttonhole right there. Little bit of cement. I'm glad I looked. It's actually right in the center. And now there's something about a 30-degree inclination on this. So if that's 90, they want it 30 degrees back that way. I'm not getting a protractor out. There we go. Cool beans. This puppy's gonna flip over like that. So, here's number 12. 12. Ah, there's 12. Looks like just a tool lid. Man, I got almost all the lights on. Still looks dark. What else do we need? Yeah, that's gonna go on later. I got the cover done. We're not gonna super glue that in place, and we're not gonna put the cover on. So 3A, it's pretty much done. So according to this, this cover, I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing at. This little cover, 12, goes on here if the generator's in use. It also shows it in the exact same position if the battery's in use. And it's in the same position way over here if it's the generator is not in use. It's a weird, it's got to be a language thing. I think what they mean is if you're using a generator, the cover is off completely someplace. If you're using the battery, they cover over the engine, because what I read is they cover it, they pull the cover back so that this can air cool, which to me means it should be in that position. But they're saying that's when it's not in use. Just so I guess if you're not using it, this can go anywhere. Just coil that up. But it's pretty. This should be over here saying, hey, when you're running the generator, have the cover open so it can be air cooled. If you're running just the battery, they put the cover on. If you're not using the battery or the generator, put the cover on, but coil the lead up. So for all its fit and function, sometimes they have some funky instructions, let's just say. Sometimes they have some funky instructions. So that means the handles are going out towards. And there, after all my bitching, that just like snapped right into place. So I will take Tamiya Engineering any day of the week. Their instructions, read through them 3 or 4 times, maybe even do a little bit of online research about the actual vehicle part, whatever. Make sure you're getting it right. And they want this in place first. And so, yeah, that goes just like that. So I guess if you were gonna put the cover on, it would sit something like this, and you would not have to see the engine because the engine's completely covered, which is cool. But I think I'm gonna have it sitting out like that, because I think if we got an engine part, let's build the engine part. Does that get covered? Yeah. So there are a couple things here that I may build the engine separate and not put it on, but I need 18. Part number 18. It's 30, 14, 18. 18 is missing. Why is 18 missing? Oh, it's color 18. It's part number 30. Again, I have the same issue with Humbrol and their paint colors call outs. It's one of the reasons I really like the Vallejo. They're all long numbers. You can't get them confused with a part number. But Vallejo only makes paints. Okay, so we're going to need part number 23. It's interesting, it has this same bit, but now it lays down. T24. What did they? So yeah, so that's where the hose is gonna go for the generator. I'm totally confused here, folks, as to why they have two different part numbers that look very identical. One's bigger than the other, so it's got a battery and a motor. Did it need to go? See, I should have read the instructions. They got some weird shit that goes on with these guys. So, yeah, only one of these goes on, so it would be this one. Because this does not have, yes, it's simple. Oh, Tamiya, why do you do this to me? Let's see if we can get this off without wrecking it. Probably not. Sometimes they just get a little too fancy pants. All right, this is going to be interesting, folks. This is called surgery. Let's see if we can debond it a little bit. And not cut myself. We're going to lose a little detail. Here she comes. All right, cool. You would think there would be a bigger call out for something that critical. Here's the part we want to keep. And this is the part we're getting rid of. Sorry, I'm just tired from working tonight. Well, today, I didn't work today. So I'm going to set this and this and this. Oh, let's do this. Let's get this. Did I actually? I just lost a part right there. That's gonna have to go back on. So we're gonna reapply. Let's get that same keyway. See, so everything's identical except this part's fatter. And I don't know why you wouldn't just design it so that the cover and everything fit on both. And before I lose this part, look at the orientation. If this is the part orientation, that's going to go that way. Is that right? Yep, there we go. Set that aside. This little guy. Oh, I see what they did. I see what they did. See this little round section. It's part of the tubing. I could help them with their call outs. That would have been. nicer to see. Without the wheels, it rests on that. So. Just to get the height right. These are pretty simplistic wheels, but that's all right. And now it can stand up and not rest on that little part. Alrighty. Let's quickly build the engine. And we can call this ready for paint. Lots of little parts here. Actually, lots of little paint call outs, not really parts. So I'll set you aside. T13. Is the main body. That's 14 and 13. Need 29. Do you think they could do a better job on some of their calls? 30. 31. 31 should be cut from that side. So we got everything except for if it's in a towed position, so we don't need that. Huzzah. These little engine parts. Let's see if I can clean them up. And out there screaming about me cutting towards myself. You have more control when you pull the blade towards you. What you need to do is put out of the way whatever you want to cut. And cut it like that, that's not good. But going like this, the only thing that's going to hit my thumb is the flat. And that lip stays on there. It's important. That little lip stays. That does not. So there, I got that off. There's a lot of detail paint to do in there, but I'm going to assemble it and paint the engine separately. And then I'll super glue it in place. One last part to check out. Yeah, that's just got to be trimmed off. A little better. All right, let's see if we can mess this up. So we got two little prongers there. And this part has a key. That does not look like the right orientation. So, oh, I see. It's going to go just like that. And all I'm going to do is drop a little glue in there. Done. there's another keyway right there that part slides onto. I already had a little bit of glue, but let's just make sure. Yeah, this is gonna be fun painting the little tiny parts. Super tiny little fuel tank. Does it have an orientation? Oh, carpet monster. Give me back my fuel tank. All right, we are gonna have to. It's amazing how a brown part or a gray part on a cream colored carpet can disappear. All right, I will find that fuel tank afterwards. I am not going to spend time searching for it. And it looks like the last bit is just this. Goes right there. And it goes out that way. Really? Hmm? A hollow point, huh? And so, once I get that painted up, actually, we can put that in place because that all gets painted together. And then that just slides in place there, so we'll have that and the cover. And I gotta find the fuel tank. And then we're down to the dudes. But they're gonna need some cleaning up. They got some mold lines. So I will cut those up and take care of them. We're almost up to the hour. So I want to thank everybody who popped in for a moment or two or stayed the whole way. It was greatly appreciated. It was fun to build a little bit. Such a small model that if I hadn't dropped the fuel tank, we would have everything completed in an hour and ready to go. But except for the dudes, but we'll get them together and we'll add those to my growing video of finishing up the 48 and 48. So everybody has a good Saturday evening, what's left of it, and we will hopefully see you next week. Cheers.